Good afternoon, and welcome to the garden. Welcome to Garden Conversations with Rose. And today, June 19th, 2022, today when all over the globe we are celebrating what is known as Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all of you dads out there, to you fathers who have born children, to you potential fathers, to you fathers in waiting, to you stepfathers, to you fathers-in-law, to you grandfathers, to you adopted fathers, those of you who would have adopted someone else's child, or even you are playing a fatherly role in an adult's life or even a child's life. I wish to offer you a very blessed Father's Day and hope that the recognition and all the pampering that you ought to be receiving, you are truly getting just that. So about 3 months ago, I thought I'd focus on fathers in the month of June, and so thought about the question, where's dad? As of yet, I'm to engage someone as far as that is concerned. That will occur for a fact. But this morning when I awoke, I thought that since I hadn't engaged anyone, I needed to say something about that. So I sat for a few minutes and wrote down a few words that just kept tumbling out of my head. I posted it earlier, so you can find it in Garden Conversations with Rose on our Facebook page or YouTube channel or even our blog site. So check it out. Where's Dad? And even as I think about it, where is Dad? I am thinking about the daughter of the now deceased Kian, that youngster who adopted the little girl in our beautiful nature isle. As said by his mother, he has a 6-year-old daughter, and I'm thinking at some point she will be asking, where's Dad? I'm also thinking about Kernisha, the kidnapped child, who, as was stated by her adopted mother, does have a biological dad who she herself had asked about and wanted to have a relationship with. I don't know where she is now. None of us know where she is. But could she peradventure be asking, where's Dad? Why hadn't my dad sought me out? And why hadn't my dad taken me? Perhaps if he had, I would not have been in that predicament. We don't know. I myself don't have a dad. My own father, almost 25 years ago, took his own life. And I had hoped that we would have had a better relationship. I love my dad. But those of you who have been following me know that I had often said my dad was a very complex man. So when he was good, he was very, very good. And when he was bad, he was very bad. And so all interaction and relationship, it was filled with a Dr. Jekyll and a Mr. Hyde. So I do recount fondly, of course, those few moments when my father would come home with some fruit, some mango, some sweet. And when he called me by that sweet nickname, Preet, short for pretty, when he hugged me and when he told me he loved me. But I also remember those awful times when he was not a good person. Like, for example, that day 42 years ago when he did tell me that he was going to come kill us that night. And had we not escaped, I believe we would have died by his hand. I remember all the other times that he had caused us so much heartache and pain, and so the relationship was not as it ought to have been. And so I wish to speak to all of you fathers out there about the role that you play in your child's life. I want to remind you that when you were having your fun, you should have thought about the fruit that could have possibly been born out of the seeds that you sowed. And even after that fruit had come forth, were you available? Did you do what you ought to have done? Did you try your utmost best to play that role that you should have? Fathers, you must be a strong source of support. You need to be a leader, and you need to be an example. Children need their dads in every sphere of their lives. As an educator, I have seen the attitudes of many of our young people, particularly our boys. I've spoken to countless teenage guys who have told me how much they detest their own dads, who want nothing to do with him, who won't even speak about him. Even they themselves resemble their dad so much. I see the pain and the hurt. I see how hardened they are. I see how much they have daddy issues. I see those young ladies who are looking for love and attention in all the wrong places. And so my heart continues to burn. I see our mothers who are going through a whole lot without the support of the dads. Fathers, you need to step up your game. I know it can get terribly hard, but if you are struggling with an issue, I beg you to get the help that you need. I know that society has laid the hammer very heavily on your head when you would have formed the fool, when you think you were trying, and still the stones kept being pelted at you. I urge you to remain on point. Be that support that you must be. I need you to be a leader to your children. And of course, I meant being a leader in a good way, not leading your children in the wrong. The Bible itself speaks about fathers not provoking children to anger. So I urge you to be a leader in a positive light so that your own children can themselves become good role models, positive citizens, those persons who will not become burdens to the state and a nuisance to society because their daddy had dropped the ball. I urge you as well to be a good role model. Let your children see that you are a person of good repute, that they can look up to you. I once heard a youngster say that his dad was a bad man. His dad beat up police, and so that is what he wanted to be. Remember, the eyes are on you, and so you must be a good example to your sons as well as your daughters. I want to tell you, children out there who may not have had a good relationship with your father, I am sorry that you had to go through this. I myself understand that as well. But I would urge you to not to retain bitterness within you. I'm not going to tell you how long that you can hold on to your ill feelings. That's your concern. That's up to you and God. But what I want to urge you is that there is a heavenly Father that you can always count on, who will be there for you, and that healing is always available. I give kudos to my mom for always reminding us that our dad is always going to be our dad. That has stayed with me. I've also urged my own children to remember that their dad is always their dad, and to give respect when it's due. And so, you children, I'm hoping that you can come to terms with what has occurred with you if it wasn't so good. Find your healing so that you can move forward and be the best version of yourself as you go through society. Fathers out there, I need you to remember that you are important. The role that you play is a crucial one, irrespective of the age of your child. And so your toddler is not going to have the same type of need as your teenage boy. Neither will the young adult or even your mature child would. But you can be there nonetheless. Young adults often need their fathers to bounce back ideas and plans on. Teenagers need to see their fathers there. This world is in a crazy state. And every time a child looks around and a father is absent, it scrapes a larger part of hurt all over the child. Fathers, have a happy Father's Day, but do what you ought to. Be a support, be a leader, be a role model in a good way, of course.